I'm very, very excited to be with you. I got an interesting topic, and I have a great guest. You guys heard from her before. She's Professor. Hold on, let me put this in. Professor Anna Manendog. She's a PhD candidate. So we're gonna be addressing some really key issues and topics that the media, I believe, not only here in the US but in Philippines as well, are kind of keeping a lid on. So today, Anna's gonna really uncover this kind of topics for us and provide the answer to the key questions that we need. So let me bring her in right away, and we'll start because, hi, Anna.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for inviting me again.
Of course, you are most welcome anytime. So the platform is yours here. So, and Merry Christmas to you and your family and your loved ones. So, all right, let's get into our topic here. I would like us to talk, first of all, I want to start with where the political conditions in Philippines are as of today, given what just transpired the last week or so. Where things are in Philippines.
Yeah. Before anything else, I would like to say Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year to everyone. I'm happy to be back in your program, David, and thank you so much for inviting me. Again, well, now it's a little bit, tensions are quite de-escalated, I think, a little bit and cooling off precisely because of the holiday season. As you can see, in the Philippines, Christmas and New Year is like a big thing for us. Family gets together. We have so many parties all around. So in a way, the tension and the political tension between different political actors in my country are a little bit downgraded and cooled to a greater extent. But still, as you can see, probably in the next coming days, it would be very interesting, especially the second week of January, because from what I know, there is a big protest rally that will be staged by one of the I think one of the most powerful and religious groups in the country, and that's what you call the INC. I think they would be staging a protest rally against the impeachment of the vice president, because as you can see, there are 3 impeachment cases filed against the vice president as of the moment. So there are a lot of groups, even religious groups, who are against the impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. So one of that would be the INC, and it will be around second week of January. However, there will also be, I think, from what I know, some kind of rally or a demonstration in favor of the impeachment by some political groups or political party, and that would be again within the second week of January. And I think another protest probably will be staged against the impeachment. So it's like 3 different big protests, I think, that will happen in the second week to the third week of January. So this is a very critical moment in my country, precisely because there will be a lot of issues that will be, of course, brought up to the public. That will, it will be brought up to the public, including in the impeachment against the vice president, probably the budget, the 2025 national budget, which many people and many Filipinos or even academics and intellectuals and even some politicians would critique, or they are now criticizing the 2025 national budget of the Philippines, and it seems that it's accordingly the most corrupt budget ever in the history of the country. So these are critical issues, and of course the daily grind of Filipino people, like for example the hard life, the increasing prices of basic commodities like electricity, transportation, even food, and basic food. These are the things that are really critical issues as well. And of course, the geopolitical issues that is going on, and we're kind of a hostage by the United States vis-a-vis China. So these are pretty much the same, quite the same issues the last few months. But I think it's more escalating in many ways. So the 2025 second week of January would be very exciting politically for the country, and I think many political observers from other countries will be looking at the Philippines because of these things.
Yeah. Well, as an outsider looking in, and you will be in a better position than me to really assess this particular aspect of it. As an outsider looking in, I'm looking at this impeachment as a political sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Motivated. And correct me if I'm wrong, Anna, and please say so if I'm wrong. I believe that this whole idea of the impeachment is to prevent the vice president from ever having the opportunity to be a president of Philippines, because that's what majority of Filipinos are wanting to have or see happen. Will I be wrong in this assessment?
I think you're correct. You're very correct in that regard. And I think this impeachment is politically motivated. It's a political harassment and some kind of political insinuated by the factions coming from the side of the current president, especially by the Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez, which is the cousin of the president at the moment. So it's more politically motivated. I think it's more about trying to make it sure that she will not be able to run for the 2028 national election as early as now. They want to destroy the vice president image in the public and even internationally speaking. But I would tell you all of this are political harassments, and these are just political machinations of the other side. I mean, especially those people who would want to stay in power than necessary. So that's really the case. And I would agree with you, and you're totally correct on this. As far as I'm...
Yeah, or just for our viewers, especially my viewers from the Philippines, because they've been asking me a lot of questions about when I'm going to bring the vice president for the interview. The opportunity is open. I'm still waiting to hear from her office. Just for you guys to know, the community, for you to know, we didn't forget this. It's just, it's protocol. You can't just call a vice president and have her here. It doesn't work that way. So just for you guys to know where things are.
Hopefully, if she be open to an interview from an international interview, that would be great. At the moment, I think she's very busy. She's facing impeachment, and there's a lot of attacks, and I think a lot of legal cases being filed against her. And this is really about political demolition. This is really a demolition job against her. And I think, on the other hand, it's also because of the fact that even until now, with all the political harassment, the demolition job being put forward against the vice president, you can see that in the latest Pulse Asia rating survey, in terms of political trust, in terms of public trust, in terms of, I think it's still the number. She's still the number one. She's still higher than the president, higher than any other government official when you talk about public trust. So that says a lot, that despite everything, she's still number one. And I think she's still number one when you talk about the front runner for the 2028 presidential election of the country. So of course, when you're the front runner,
of course,
you're the one, the subject of almost all political intrigues and political attacks coming from your perceived opponents. Yeah,
you're absolutely correct. Well, I hope things works out, because Filipino people, the average Filipino citizen, deserves better. That's my opinion about all this. So let's move on.